How's the family?
Good.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Everyone's good. Like, yeah, three kids growing fast.
Yeah, I thought you had two. I didn't know you had three.
Yeah, my daughters are 12 and 10, and my son is 6.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
How old are your kids?
10, 8,
Okay.
5, soon to be 2, and then just born. So we
You
have
have 5?
five. Yeah. Yeah. That's what's happening right now.
Oh my God, you're a busy man.
The problem is my wife's Portuguese, and so they're crazy, and that's the problem. And so yeah, I'm Irish, so like Portuguese and Irish people shouldn't like get married, and
Yeah.
that's what happened. And so we just have 5 kids. Well, we don't know the little one yet, but the oldest 4 are out of control and they're all wild.
God bless you.
Yeah, thank you, and same to you. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
3 kids. More people should have kids, and then people who have kids should have more. So
You think? You think so?
you become much less selfish when you have kids, and life isn't all about you. And then people are so materialistic that don't have kids because they don't have. This is like my personal like beliefs on other people, but when you have kids, a lot of the stuff that you don't sweat the small stuff anymore because you're completely everything is honestly completely wild.
I agree with you around how it shapes you as a person in terms of, 1, being non-materialistic, 2, teaching you responsibility.
Oh yeah.
Not sweating the small stuff. And I think I would add is just knowing how to prioritize your time, especially as a business owner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, like I'm not a morning person at all, but I get up really early in the morning. I start my day at 5, and it's because if I don't, there's no time to work on me. And where you have to do that I think everybody needs to work on themselves, but especially as a business owner or someone who's trying to drive culture or drive a company somewhere, you have to have personal reflection time to make sure that everything that you're doing is aligning with your values and you're running your own race. Which that's another problem with today's world is there's too many people who aren't like really secure in who they are. So they're looking for someone else to latch onto or someone else's life. And it creates a lot of anxiety, and people aren't as happy because they feel out of control. And it's because they're not running their own race. They're not really living up to their own values. So they don't even know what their own values are. They don't even know what's important to them. So, but for me, it's like my faith and my family really ground me in what's important, and probably like obviously the same with you. And that really gives you a starting place for all the decisions that you make in your life. And then I really believe that the better person that you become and the more well-rounded and the more you can develop yourself as a person, the more you can positively influence and shape the world that which you live in. And when I mean the world, like your microcosm of everybody that you interact with, which is the most important thing. And my favorite quote of all time is from Mother Teresa. She said, "If you want to change the world, go home and love your family." And that's my favorite quote because that's the exact opposite of who I naturally am. I like to try to do like these big things and all this stuff. But like, okay, but I want to do X, Y, Z in business, but I won't help my wife do the dishes. Like, do you know what I mean? Like that. So that quote really hits home with me because that sometimes is hard for me to do, but I really like it. And I think more people should sweep their own front door, their own, take care of their family first. And I think that's what's really cool with the field that we've come up with and come up in terms of like, strength and conditioning and personal training and nutrition is in order to give, you have to become better yourself so you can give more. So those are like the really cool things.
I love that, man. And I certainly can appreciate that standpoint. And I'd agree with you 100% around just needing to continually get better as a person and really need to root into your own value system and belief system and make decisions from that. And I respect, the fact that you acknowledge that for some of us, that can take a really long time to kind of figure out, especially in the scope of like social media today and always seeing what other people are doing and wanting to try and live up to perceived expectations and all of those types of things. And I can personally say, it's taken a very long time for me to really truly hone in on what exactly my values and core beliefs and standards with which, of course, they're values that I've lived by, but to be able to truly identify those and then kind of use those as decision makers to reinforce things on a daily basis has definitely taken some time. What would you, I think it's relevant to give our listeners some perspective around how you've grown your business, your career over all of these years and sort of what that looks like for you. So maybe you could give us a little background around like who you are and like what you do.
Yeah. I'm a personal trainer, strength coach with a specialty in training athletes. I've trained athletes in over 30 sports, probably with a preference more in the NFL. I've trained between 70 and 80 NFL players so far. I've been able to work with 8 guys who've won the Super Bowl, so that's really cool. But I've trained, I've trained athletes at all levels, all sports. I really enjoy it. To be honest, my favorite athletes to train are high school athletes. They work really, really hard, and there's so much potential. I don't get to work with as many as I'd like to, but that's kind of my background. I started my I guess basically my career started in college. I was playing college football. I was a pretty average football player, but I had a really good strength coach when I started. I played at Central Michigan University, which is a Division I school, and I was really developing well. And we ended up winning our championship for our league. And I had a really good game. I had an interception to help us win the game, and my picture's on the front page of the paper and all the cool stuff, right? It was a really, really cool time. And then, but all our coaches got promoted to a bigger school. And then new coaching staff came in, great coaches, but the strength program was really, really bad for me. And then what happened was my physical qualities, my physical abilities diminished very, very quickly. So I had like a 35-inch vertical jump. And when I was 21 and in 22, we had a new strength and conditioning staff. My vertical jump went down to 29 inches. So it's a 6 inches decrease in 6 months. So I was working harder than ever.
Yeah.
So it was the strength coach was more of a volume-based approach. And I thrived on speed and intensity. So I was pretty fast. And that was, and then the strength coach who I initially started with, his diet was the meat, leaves, and berries diet. So
okay.
paleo was a thing. So that's what was called as the meat, leaves, and berries diet. And I was personally pretty lean. And then the strength coach who came in after that was all about calories and increasing your calories. And the staple was 5 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, 5 muscle milks, and 5 bananas. That was my dietary protocol that I was supposed to add on to everything. And I'm in college. I don't know anything about this, right? So I did exactly what the program
you were supposed to do. Yeah.
I felt awful. My joints were inflamed. I had all of the injuries that I previously had in football. They were just nagging. They came back. My speed, I ran like 4.5 when I was 21, and I ran like 4.8. So it's a big difference in decreasing speed. But so it was horrible because my career kind of was ruined. And especially when you're an average athlete, you need to have others, like you can't just rely on your athletic talent, which I didn't. I worked very, very hard and I took care of my body. But when you have the wrong direction for you, you're just not going to be able to make up for that with different limited athletic qualities. And so the average NFL player that I train is 6'5", and they're 242 pounds. So that's the biggest difference between guys in the NFL and guys who aren't in the NFL is the size. It's not even the speed. If you're under 200 pounds, you're really, really fast. so, so anyway, kind of the tale of two strength coaches. And I started my senior year. I was like, you know what? I really got to get back on the field because I kind of was benched, didn't play much. And then I took a different approach. I kind of started doing my own workouts just to be able to get back on the field. Played a little bit my senior year, had a decent senior year, and then really got interested in strength and conditioning because I was devastated at my dream was to be really good in football and reach my potential, and it didn't happen. And so it was really devastating for me. So I got really interested in strength and conditioning. And I read a book called Modern Trends in Strength Training by Charles Poliquin. And I just started, Google searching Poliquin, and there is a job opening at the Poliquin Performance Center in Chicago. And I applied and I got a response back. And 6 months later, I was working at the Poliquin Performance Center. And what I saw is guys would make more progress in 3 months than I had seen guys in college make in 5 years, 3 to 4 years. It was incredible. And everything from the individualizing the training process to the nutrition protocols to supplemental protocols, taking branched chain amino acids. This is back in 2008, 2009. It was pretty amazing. We had, you could just see incredible transformations for guys who were detrained. We had a cornerback that weighed 176 pounds, and he had stopped lifting. He was detrained. He used to be really good, but he was he only had a 29-inch vertical jump. That's not very good if you're in the NFL. And so but 10 weeks later, he started training hard. He had a 38-inch vertical jump and weighed 192, and he dropped his body fat from 19% to 8%.
It's crazy.
So, crazy, right? A genetic freak with good training, individualized training, and good nutrition. So that was my start, working for, Charles Poliquin, but Mike Beistel ran that facility. And Mike is one of the smartest, best strength coaches that no one really knows about because he doesn't self-promote or anything like that. He just likes training people. But that's who I got my start from. And my wife and I had a child, and we wanted to move back closer to family in Michigan. So it was the recession in Detroit, so no one would hire me. So I didn't really want to own my own business or be an entrepreneur. I just really loved what I did, but no one would hire me. So I started the business, Michigan Elite Conditioning for Athletes, and one client led to another. And now we have 55 staff in 3 locations plus online training. And then we just acquired Poliquin Performance Center. So kind of coming full circle. So
that's amazing, man.
In that company now. So
that's amazing. First of all, good for you and congratulations. I didn't really, I've heard the rumblings of, Poliquin Performance Center, but I had no idea. And part of the reason that I obviously wanted to have this conversation too. And so you guys straight up bought Poliquin Performance?
Yeah. So we had a merger with them. So Caroline Jones is the CEO. And basically we've merged their company, and they have a lot of really great people and talent in the company that really suited us well. We do a really good job with our operations team here and some of our sales and marketing. And then they had a lot of technical stuff that we really, a lot of really good people in that division. So and then really the biggest reason for me wanting to do this is I really felt like Charles did so much for me, so much for a lot of us. And I really felt like he wasn't getting the credit that he really deserved. And he did so much for so many people. And so this is it's really important for me to one, put his name in a good standing, kind of back on, not that it ever left the map, but really I mean, education through the Poliquin Performance Center was the golden era back 2006 to 2012, 2013. If you were a strength coach that was lucky enough to come up during that time, you were just getting the best information and really launched so many guys' careers, including mine.
And mine.
Yeah, right. And it's like I'm so grateful for Charles because he was the first person that ever believed in me in my entire life. Like I love my mom and dad a lot, but like he was the first person. I did a consult with him in he's like, "Hey, I'm in Detroit. Meet me at the airport." And so I did a consult with him in an airport. And after the consult was over, he's like, "Hey, Dave, just want to let you know that you got a chance to be a really good strength coach. Like I really can see it. Just keep working hard." And he's the first person that ever said to me that, "Hey, you could be really good." And he's the first person that I would say believed in me, which I'm like, man, this is Charles Poliquin. If he thinks it, I better make him right. You know what I mean?
I do.
It gave me a lot of motivation. And the best thing I learned from Charles, I learned so many things, but the best thing I learned from him was how to give people confidence, and especially your clients and the people you work with. And that's so important. And so many people are in this day and age are a bit ego driven, and it's about, hey, it's about me, it's about me, it's about me. And Charles actually wasn't, a lot of people who knew him really well, he wasn't like that. He was very, very giving, and he really built people up. And that was really cool. So that's like the biggest thing I took from him. And that's probably the best thing he did for me, to be honest. So
I'm just, I'm emphatically nodding my head here because, not a little bit different trajectory for me, but nonetheless is finding Charles Poliquin amongst all of the potential people in our industry and being able to learn from him and really having him help me launch my career as well, and being one of the few mentors that believed in me, and especially during a time when you have a hard time believing in yourself. You don't know what to believe, especially when you're trying to learn as much as possible. And not dissimilar to you is doing a one-off consult when I first started to learn from him, and paying $1,000 to do a consult. And at the same time, it was like I tell a story sometimes around sitting down with him for a consult. And I think it was like during one of their biosignature classes, which I did probably 7 times over the years. And, it was the consult itself was great. I wouldn't say that there was anything like revolutionary that I gleaned from the information that he provided, but it was the relationship that was built from there on out. The trust that was infused, going both ways, the referrals that he ended up sending me, that really helped improve my trajectory. Just every time he would come to Scottsdale, again, the relationship that we developed. And so I have a very strong appreciation for him, for what I learned from him, and for people like you and other amazing coaches in our industry who truly can appreciate what Charles had to offer. So thank you, for sharing that, because it indeed is certainly powerful for me to hear it, and I appreciate it. And so with that, Dave, I'm excited for you and you merging with Poliquin Performance, because it sounds like it's a perfect synergy between training and education. Tell us a little bit more about Poliquin Performance and kind of what you guys are doing in our industry.
Yeah. So the second reason we wanted to do it is, and probably the most important, is to provide coaches with a higher level of education. So I think we're relaunching PICP. We're relaunching Biosignature. That should be really, really good. PICP 1 and 2 are like, we just cleaned up a smidge, but it's a lot of the foundational stuff is really all there. We're making things a little bit easier and easier to understand. And then we're going a little bit more in depth on the working anatomy, in biomechanics for strength coaches. And Chris Delasega is heading up our PICP1.
Yeah, Chris is great.
Chris is great. Chris is one of the smartest coaches, and he's produced, which I really respect a lot. So he's got a world record holder in cycling, and that's really impressive. So, anyway, that's he's going to be heading up level 1 and level 2, and I'll be assisting him with it. And then really, really cool is we right now are reworking level 3 and level 4. There's going to be some information that's going to stay, but the information that was taught in like level 3 and level 4, we're going to make things a lot more applicable. And there was a big, it was a little mysterious, like looking at the entire training system, and basically level 3 puts all the pieces together for coaches. So level 3 is going to be basically the bedrock of understanding periodization, the training system and program design, and then all different specialty methods as well. It's really, really cool. And it's a systematic way that you can put the entire Poliquin system together, which you would take PICP 1, level 2, level 3, and there's chunks all brought together. So we're be able to bring the whole thing together in level 3. And then level 4 is quite advanced. And then we're adding a level 5 that's going to be new. And that's not going to be launched until 2024. But that is going to be a lot of neurotransmitter things. It's really cool. So
that's fantastic, dude. I'll look forward to hearing and certainly learning more from you guys as you continue to put out that content and training and seminars and everything like that. And I'm more than happy to share it. What's happening with supplementation? I know you guys have a relationship with Designs for Sport.
Yeah, absolutely. So Designs for Sport is like an unbelievable company. They're really, really awesome. I was really lucky enough to be one of the people that was, I was just one of the people that was standing around there when they were putting it all together. And so I'm on their board, and it's an incredibly fun team. I mean, they've got a great team. So we use a ton of their products. So I wouldn't trust any other company in our space with athletes. We see so many professional and Olympic athletes, and we need to have clean supplements. And the only way a lot of those guys are going to take them is if they have that NSF for sport label. And so I'm like just a massive fan of Designs for Sport. And the team with, Jonathan is the owner of Designs for Health and Designs for Sport. And then Jordan, who is one of my best friends now. He's become a really good friend. He really heads that whole Designs for Sport team up. And you have Melissa and Jill are just very knowledgeable in nutrition. They have like an unbelievable team that can really deliver high quality nutritional information to strength coaches, that's the biggest gap in like coaches understanding how to use supplementation. And they do a really good job with their team, teaching them how to use the products and making it. So there's a lot of synergy that we're working on with Poliquin Sport. So,
and is that something that you guys are going to infuse through your biosignature education?
So there's certain things happening right now that I just couldn't share those certain details.
Totally.
Just because there's a lot that we're all working on right now, but things just aren't finalized yet. But yes, there's all good. We're definitely both the companies we're looking at doing a lot together. So
it's awesome, dude. That's awesome. And so congratulations on all of this stuff. It like I said, it sounds like you've got a lot of irons in the fire, and relative to the beginning of our conversation with all 19 of your children and
Right.
your 5 businesses and all of this stuff is like, how do you manage your time, dude? You said you were adamant about making sure that you have time for yourself, as much as why you wake up early enough, but how do you do everything on a daily basis?
Well, I don't. Like, I try. Um, I'm when I've gotten older, and everything, it was either like all or nothing. So like if I missed my morning routine, that would like ruin my day, or if I missed my workout, it ruined my day. And as I've become a little bit older and more mature, especially with myself, I think we're too hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
I think all of us are too hard on, especially people who want to do well, and um, just a bit too negative sometimes. And sometimes if I only get 3 or 4 days of my morning routine, well, that's better than zero. So I'm actually like not too mad about that, but pushing for myself more consistency than perfection has been really, really good for myself and my health, and my strength training and my body composition and everything basically.
Mm.
So just changing that mindset that, I guess, what's the phrase, like perfection is the enemy of good. Maybe I'm getting that wrong, but I was always trying to be perfect, and that's not realistic, and sometimes that's not even good.
Mm.
And so yeah,
Yeah.
just being a little bit more self-compassion, because you can't get everything done, and it's okay
Right.
if you don't. And yeah, and some things are gonna, like, I was doing like everything in my life was going really, really good, and then my wife and we had our 5th daughter, and then it just is a nuclear bomb again. And I'm just thinking I'm just getting, putting all the pieces together right now and figuring life out again. But it's good. It's really good. I wouldn't have it any other way.
That's
But
amazing.
honestly, you just try. Like, you show up every day and you try.
Yeah.
Having like, I can go into it but I scheduled my year up front
Mm.
basically, and I have my values, like what are the 3 to 5 things that are most important to me, and what are my 3 to 5 goals that I have for the year.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. And then I go to my weekly schedule. What's a week look like for me normally? So I'll book out, like, I'm traveling this week and that week and this vacation or whatever. So I do that at the start of the year, and then things come up. But then I book out my week and I say, okay, for me, I've got Monday and Tuesday and Thursday and Friday are heavy work days. They're like heavy, either training people or we're running the business. There's a lot of work being done. Typically, Wednesday and Saturday morning, or like are very, like, those are like, Wednesday's like usually a personal day to me, where it's space for me to like develop the bandwidth to think and to reconnect with myself and to make sure I'm learning, and make sure that, like, that's where a lot of ideas flow. And
Mm-hmm.
then every quarter I take at least 5 days where I'm free from work and I'm working on myself. Hey, how was the last quarter? How did that go? Did I hit my goals? Am I on track? Am I doing what I want to do? That sort of thing. And then every day, my start of my day is like booked out as a routine, and the end of my day is booked out as a routine. And so that kind of helps structure my life. So I have like a good morning routine where I exercise first thing in the morning, and I do it for my brain.
Mm-hmm.
I read a book called Spark, What Happens to the Brain on Exercise.
Mm-hmm.
When I started doing like 20 minutes or 20 to 30 minutes of cardio in the morning, or running, I I became smarter. Like, to be honest, I made better decisions. I was in a better mood. And then I would usually do strength training sometime later in the day.
Mm-hmm.
That like really set my day up for like being like highly productive. And then I'll usually read for 40 to 60 minutes of learning. So I build in habits If I'm driving anywhere, I usually have an audiobook. So I'm usually, the basic things that you need to do because right, leaders are learners. And so there's a lot of skills that I don't have running a company. I just don't have them. I'm a good strength coach. I love being a strength coach, but I wouldn't say I'm a very good CEO, and I'm learning how to be like an entrepreneur. Like I don't have the hours. I don't have them. So how can you mitigate that? Well, I have like a couple mentors or business groups that I'm part of that really help sharpen me as an executive and trying to give me the skills that I don't have yet. And then reading, what are the skills that I don't have, and how can I acquire them, and how fast can I acquire them? So that's basically where I spend a lot of my learning right now is because I have there's a lot of people that are responsible for a decision that I make. So if I make the wrong decision, it affects a lot of people, and it's a bit devastating. I've made a lot of wrong decisions. So yeah.
That's amazing, man. And I applaud you for wanting to continue to learn and grow. I mean, it's just in your DNA, and I think it's relevant, as you were alluding to, in terms of like coming up, wanting to be a good strength coach and personal trainer and nutrition coach is wanting to learn everything that you possibly can about how to do that. And then I think inherently, as we evolve and as we create our own businesses, it's only natural to want to learn how to become a better leader and business owner and mentor to others. And so it's just part of that natural evolution. And clearly you're doing something right within that. But what do you think has been the hardest thing for you about the process in terms of removing yourself from something that you love so much, being in the trenches, just coaching, and the daily responsibilities that you face now?
Yeah, well, I'm learning that. I wouldn't say, like, for the most part, like if I work a lot, but like if I didn't go into the office one day or something like that, or if I was gone for a week, the business would run just fine. We have a really good team. Where I've learned is that every time I go back and try to do something in the business, I usually screw it up. So people that are in charge of the day-to-day operations are more skilled than I am.
Yeah.
So that's, to be honest, that's been like the biggest thing. Like, yeah, I usually screw things up. So selfishly, I'm interested in, and we can certainly talk about this more later, but selfishly, I'm interested in the process of how you've come about finding, what's the process of finding people that are smarter than you in other areas or more skilled in other areas, and, and making them part of your team? Yeah. So there's a book, it's called The E-Myth, by Michael Gerber, why most small businesses don't work and what to do about it. And I read that book 4 or 5 times when I was starting, and it took me 6 years to find like the right business partner to bring on. And I'll give everybody the shortcut. There's a group called the COO Alliance. So maybe I should backtrack. In the E-Myth, there's 3 people. There's the entrepreneur, there's the manager, and there's the technician. Most of us who start a business are technicians. A few of us are entrepreneurs, or a few of us are managers. So I ended up having a technician and a little bit of the entrepreneurial spirit, right? But I was a horrible manager. And the problem, especially in personal training and strength and conditioning, is that I've seen this with like 99% of us in the field, is that we are very good, especially the best guys are very good technically at what they do. So they think that they can be good at anything else that they do. Like, so I've seen guys, and this has to do with other fields too. So I've seen guys make all their money in real estate and lose all their money in the stock market, or vice versa, all their money in the stock market, great day trader, and lose all their money in real estate, because it's two different skill sets.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing happens you can be a good strength coach. You can be a good nutritionist. You can be a good soft tissue practitioner. And some of us do it out of necessity, but you can only be good at so much. And if you want to scale, and scaling is really hard because it takes other people. You need to bring other people in that are naturally good and ethically and morally at the same level as you. So they have the same principles. They believe in doing the right thing, which is really important. But they one of them might be a better, like for me, I needed someone who is a better manager. I have horrible management skills. I tell somebody to do something one time and they don't do it, and I start hating them. Like in my mind, right? It's like this person I hate this person. They don't respect me. And then I just would go off on them. Mm-hmm. And that's not really good. Or someone doesn't wear the right uniform, or they come in late. I don't do really well with that. So
yeah, I understand.
There's other people who do a really good job with that are in our company, and they love doing that. They love managing people. They love the operational side of it. So we have, on our team, we have five, our team has 5 people in the operations division. That's all they do is management and operations. So, and they're really, really good at that, and they love that aspect of the business. And then, most of us are trainers. So we have about 40 trainers. And then we have some nutritionists. Every location has its own nutrition.
That's awesome.
Yep. And then we have a marketing team and online and that sort of thing. So, but that's where I would start is that was the book that really kind of got me going. And then the book that's revolutionized our business, and we run our business off of this, is a book called Traction. It's a guy named Gino Wickman wrote the book. And it's basically how to grow and scale your business. And it's been an absolute game changer for us. And we, like I said, we run our entire business off of it. And it's given us the ability to scale and scale using the right metrics and having the right core values and bringing in the right people into our company. So books, I'm a big fan of books, reading, and those are the 2 books that have made the biggest difference for us. But the Traction won't make sense, I think, until you're at least at 20 to 25 people in your organization. But it's good to read it. So and then the E-Myth is really good when you're starting out. So
it's awesome. Yeah. Beautiful, man. It's so much good information. I'm really proud of you and just, happy for your success and all of the influence, and, especially in the strength and conditioning industry, which absolutely needs, more people like you, more great coaches, more great athletes. And of course, just super happy with the direction of the Poliquin Group and having you associated. And so, good work. You've done a really good job. And I appreciate your time and you coming on the show. Where is the best place for people to find out more about, your gyms, online coaching? If you feel free to plug anything you want. MECAstrong.com is the website, and then obviously poliquingroup.com. Perfect.
And then so those are we do quite a bit of online training, and we have a really good team that does that, and it's pretty cool. So with our online training, you get it's a customized training program that's followed up every week. And then you also have nutritionists one-on-one every week that you can meet with too. So
beautiful.
So it's kind of the whole package that a lot of online programs are, hey, here's the template. And out. So just try to do that and have a little bit of higher level of service. So
perfect. Well, we'll have those links in the show notes. Anything else you want to share, man?
No, Ben, thanks for having me on. It's super wonderful to talk to you.
Yeah,
So
it's always great, and it's been way too long, and so I'm happy that we had a chance to connect and kind of fill me in on what's happening, and obviously fill our audience in. And looking forward to more big things to come. And so we'll definitely have you on again as kind of Poliquin Group starts to make more traction, and you're obviously crushing it with MECA, and which is amazing. And so yeah, man, just happy to be associated with a guy like you. So thank you again for everything, knowledge, wisdom.
No, to be honest, like I would really just like to be training people like 40 hours.
Well,
it's all I really want to be doing.
You know, it's funny. It was part of my questioning around like,
yeah,
it's very challenging growing a business, and sort of I think that the semblance of responsibility that you feel to do it because you know you're helping more people at the same time is like selfishly, it's like I'd be perfectly content just coaching people, you know, all day, having time for my family, being able to do more of what I want to do, right? As like,
yeah, the dream is to grow it, and then maybe at some point when I retire, open up a little studio and bring like go back and just do it.
Isn't it funny how that works? I respect that very much, and can absolutely empathize with that, dude.
So what I just, by saying that, it's like, it's nice. Thanks for saying all those nice things. Like it's really nice of you to say, there's just a need out there, and I just want to be helpful the way other people help me. And probably you feel the same way. So it like has like zero to do with me as a person. It really has to do with all the coaches that we'd really want to help and come through. And then we have like a super great team. And like, honestly, Ben, like my favorite thing about favorite thing about being in business is you get to pick the people that you work with. And there's like nobody that I work with that has an ego. There's nobody like to get into our leadership team in our company. We have three things. So we have our core values, and then and I know you're trying to wrap the show up, so I apologize.
No. There's no rush. You're good.
Like, but I just want to say it. Like our leadership team, we have our core values in our company. And our leadership team, there's three things: hungry, humble, and smart. And the hungry is obviously you have to have work ethic, and you have to have drive, and you have to carry your load and your fair share. And then humble, how many people are truly have humility in this day and age? I want to be around people who don't have an ego. Like it doesn't work. It doesn't work to grow and scale a company. And too many people are so self-absorbed, and they just take from the team. And you can't, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, go with the team. And we really want to bring our whole team and go far. And then smart. And smart has less to do with technical knowledge, but it's how you make people feel when you're around them. So especially like in difficult conversations, how does this person feel when they interact with me? That is being smart intellectually and being like good with people and making other people feel good about themselves. And that's really important. So with Poliquin and with MECA and with everybody, like Designs for Sport too, it's all just great people that want to help and serve other people and want to be useful to other people, and has nothing to do with anything else than that. And that is the coolest thing that the thing I'm most excited about with everything that's going on is I really think that we can provide a lot of value with great people. That's kind of my favorite thing. So
I couldn't agree with you more. And I think that having the privilege of being able to build a team of like-minded individuals that can support each other and build and support a community is perhaps one of the most rewarding things, albeit challenging every single day, and difficult, is equally rewarding. Right. And I'm nowhere near, where you are. And it doesn't really matter, is just the ability to impact others, I think, is the most tangible and powerful thing that we have. So, and look, and that's part of why we're having this conversation. And it's very clear is why you're good at what you do. It's because you care, and there's no ego involved. It's just, you care, and you're trying to do a good job every day. And I applaud and appreciate that about you. And so, it's refreshing. So keep up the good work, dude. Keep up the good work. Good luck with all those children. And we'll catch up soon.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Ben. Appreciate it.
Got it, buddy.